I am at Ozu Castle, and we are walking away right now. We just got out of there. But we woke up early this morning to go to Garyu Sanso, I believe it is, the villa. And the reason we went there was because I wanted to go see it was like a cultural building. It literally was created for the arts, whether it's tea ceremony or writing, poetry, or like books or any type of writing. Also painting, and you could clearly see as you walk through the thought that was put into building the villa. Like, each wall has symbolizations of items, whether it be like the phoenix or the seasons, other gods, and then it was creatively done. It took 10 years to design, 4 years to build. And one of the major things about it was that they wanted to design it to where you could they wanted to what? Oh.
This castle, yeah. The well is 3.8 meters.
Oh, that well right there?
Yeah, 3.8 meters across.
Oh, okay. Crazy. I didn't know. Did you take a photo?
Yeah.
All right. I'll have to grab it from you. Lynn just noticed that this castle has the largest well in Japan at 13 meters.
3.8 meters in diameter.
3.8 meters in diameter. Which, wow, that's a big hole. But to get back to what I was saying, the villa was designed in the way that you could sit and gaze out and have an unblocked view of nature. So there's no pillars, there's nothing in the way of being able to just sit and concentrate, if you want to call it that, on the natural beauty of what was around you to help you kind of be creative. And so from the villa, we then went to Ozu Shrine, which is like not even 70 meters. It's so close. You could just easily walk. It's something that you should just do if you're in both areas. And we checked out the shrine. It was, aside from having a big Yabisu god there, the shrine was pretty normal. It was pretty. Like, there was nothing wrong with it. But I don't think there was anything all too special. I'll have to read up on it, and I'll cut back in with more information if there is more. But that was really all I took from it. And then we went to Shigure Mochi, which is a famous mochi shop in this area, and they actually make a different type of mochi. I'll try to get some B-roll of it because we just bought it and left so that we could come to the castle. We're just trying to keep a schedule. And so it ended up, it was just 800 yen for our little package that we got for the two of us. Should be plenty, and you just eat it with some tea. And yeah, then we came here to Ozu Castle, which it's special in the fact that instead of having 3 stories, it has 4. It's the only castle in Japan that has 4. And also the main pillar that the castle sits around is not straight. It's off-centered, which is very different from every other castle. It was completely destroyed in 1888, I believe is what I read. And so this is a reconstruction of it. Although, it's really nice. It is what I'm used to as a smaller castle. There's not really much of a quote-unquote museum part inside. They do have some like dioramas and stuff like that you could see, but there's not actually, other than the floors and the walls. Like, you look out the windows. That's pretty much what you're doing. I will say that once you get to the second floor, the third and fourth floor, those stairs are steep. And Lynn and I witnessed this older gentleman going up in slippers, although at the second floor it says please take off your slippers because it's dangerous to go up. And we were quite concerned. His wife ended up chasing after him and getting him to come back down. But yeah, this castle is pretty fantastic. One of the things that I like about it is that it has a turret that juts off to one direction, and we were able to get to that turret and then go up the turret to see outside, so you could see how the castle defense worked, which was really cool. Other than that, it was just neat to kind of walk around. It looks kind of brand new. It's really well maintained, so it was really easy to walk around. And I mean, it was part of our ticket, so we bought a double ticket for 880 yen for the Garyu Sanso and this place, the Ozu Castle. And it's so bright. Like, it is so bright. Anyhow, it was a lot of fun. Good times. We'll check back in a moment here. I think it's time to go get breakfast. It's like 11 o'clock and both of us are starving because we haven't eaten anything all morning. So, check back in a moment. So, we are at Shimoda Station, and we just so happened to come right at the perfect time. A train just stopped by and left. This is the infamous Spirited Away train station, or the inspiration behind it. It's actually the station that's closest to the ocean in all of Japan, and you can clearly see the ocean behind the station. It's really pretty. There are a ton of people here. It's impressive how many people are here. The amount of foreigners, I would say, is probably fewer than I thought. There are foreigners here, a few Chinese people. I definitely heard that. I think I heard a little bit of Korean, and then I definitely see some folks of non-Asian descent here. But yeah, it was kind of interesting. I didn't know what to expect, didn't expect too much. And I have to say, I was more surprised at the amount of folks that ended up getting off the train to get here. But I guess it makes sense because the parking lot is right here behind me. And it's like 6 spots. I'm pretty sure this lady is parking in a no parking zone. I'm not 100% sure what that sign says, but I'm pretty sure it says no parking. Anyhow, I think we've done what we needed to do here. Came, saw the station, saw a train go through the station, and yeah, pretty happy with what we did. On to the next spot. Back in a second. Alright, and welcome back. About a 5-minute drive from the Shinoda station is Futami Seaside Park, and this is a Michi-no-eki, so a road station, and they're famous for a Yu-yake soft serve. Yu-yake is some sort of orange, and I got a mix and then got a straight orange soft serve. And it's delicious. Like, it's amazing. Like, it tastes like an orangesicle. And man, it is so bright today. Like, I am having a hard time seeing where I'm walking. It's so bright. I need to just put on my sunglasses and not care about what anybody else thinks. But it's a nice little seaside station. There's a full restaurant and little shops. Lynn and I bought $60 worth of souvenirs from this place, so we got a couple of shirts and some juice. And yeah, we'll show them off at a later date, but we got to get going here. Next stop is another sweets store, so we'll check back in a moment. Welcome back. We are at Dogo Park, and before we got here, we actually went to Poemi Sweets and bought a ton of souvenirs. We actually talked to Mom the whole time we were there, and Mom was just enthralled to see us at a sweets factory that shows you how they make these baked goods from flour to finished product. And it was really cute because they had all these cow-themed items there. Lynn and I were able to get a couple of ice creams, so our second ice cream of the day. I also got a coffee, so I got my first coffee really of the day. I guess I did have one at the hotel. It is free, right? We're currently at the park. We're going to do a quick loop on the long side, and then we're going to go to the famous clock that's here to try to catch the clock show. And then we're going to go see the Spirited Away onsen. And then I'm going to have to look at my phone. There's a ton of stuff that I want to do in this like 2-hour period. So, all right, yeah, take your time. Yeah, just keep walking. We're just gonna be making a large loop, and hopefully in 40 minutes. The show's every 30 minutes, I believe. So it's 25 right now. So hopefully in about 40-ish minutes, we'll be at the clock. We're just walking this park. I remember seeing some things that were kind of interesting that I'd like to go ahead and take photos and video of. But other than that, that's what we've done so far. The Poemi, going back to that, one of my favorite things about that when I saw it on an AKB show is that the whole factory behind the scenes, like you really get to watch it, everything like flow down. There's this cool area where you get to open a door and you could smell the sweets as they come through. That was really cool. And when we got there, it was perfect timing. Like the first batch was just coming online. So we didn't get to see the very, very beginning of it, but we got to actually see the actual cakes flowing down the conveyor belt, which was really awesome. It's actually really far away from Matsuyama City. It's like the farthest out. It's not even in Matsuyama City, really. It's in another city, so that should be noted. But we have a car, so it made that easy. We're somewhat ahead of schedule, which is kind of cool. And I think really after we go and see the clock, we'll have to decide what we have to do, because we do have to check in. Dinner is included with the hotel tonight because we're staying at one of the it's owned by the people who own the Spirited Away Hotel Dogo Onsen, which as soon as I said that we're staying at the Spirited Away Hotel, all my friends here were like, oh, Dogo. I was like, yep. So everybody knows. But yeah, we will check back in a moment here. It is still bright, and the wind makes it a little chilly. It's a little breezy. I'm feeling a lot better though, which is kind of nice. So anyhow, check back in a moment. Hello, quick cut in here. I noticed that I forgot 2 major things that we did. I think probably because I was under the weather during the time of this video, but I'm very clearly here in my house in California. But the first thing was, right after we went to Dogo Park, we actually walked over to the Butchan train, which is kind of like the steam train, the local train, the first train I think that was there. Wonder how many times I could say train as a sentence. But it was just a old steam train that they actually use every now and then, if I recall correctly. But it was out of service at this moment. We were able to go and check it out and get a few photos in front of it. While we were there, there was a huge group of tourists that were walking around. It looks like they just got off either a bus or a train that came through. What's cool is the train's actually associated with a train station that is still in use, which makes sense, I guess, because if you think about it, they still use this train every now and then. I think they run it like 3 times a day or 3 times a week, some weird thing like that. We unfortunately didn't catch it while it was running, but still we got to see it, which is pretty awesome. And then right next to it, just across the street, not even a 2-minute, 3-minute walk, is where that clock that I was talking about inside of Dogo Park is. And this clock is famous. I've seen it in movies and TV shows that take place in Japan, whether they're international or if they're local. I want to say the first time I saw it was on an AKB show that was kind of promoting Ehime Prefecture. The clock is amazing. It tells a story about like star-crossed lovers, and one of the craziest things that, like, I just remember the clock did stuff, like kind of like how is it the Munich clock, right? The München clock tower does like all the people running around dancing and all that. Well, this clock actually goes a step further than that by expanding. It goes from like, it's just whatever it is, it goes up like three more levels, which is crazy. And then it goes and things pop out of it and things are dancing, and it's intense. Like, it's really, really cool. And Lynn was just blown away when she saw it. She didn't expect it. What was funny is that I remember it from the AKB show that I saw, but really what actually kind of threw me was when Mom was like, "Hey Charlie, isn't that where the clock that I saw in my Thai drama is?" And sure enough, Mom saw the clock in her Thai drama. So it pops up. I think I have the entire footage of it actually being played. I'm not 100% sure. If I do, I could actually just tag it in at the end. But I did want to make sure that I get a mention of this because we went to these two things before going to Dogo Onsen. We actually walked a little bit of the arcade as well, but just like at the very beginning, enough to whet Lynn's appetite to where she's going to come back later, and I'll actually discuss this later when we're at the hotel. But yeah, Lynn and I were able to see both the steam train and this amazing clock before walking over to Dogo Onsen, which then after Dogo Onsen we go to the foot baths at the top, and after the foot baths we go to the shrine. But yeah, just a quick note, didn't want to forget adding that we went to these two items while we were in Ehime. Welcome back from Dogo Park. We walked over to Dogo Onsen, the famous Spirited Away onsen. We're actually staying at one of their annexes, but it was packed. Like, there were so many people there. There was a Chinese tour group and a Korean tour group, and so it was really hard to get any clean photos or video, but we got what we got. Pretty happy. Right now we're at the Isaniwa shrine, and this shrine is pretty fantastic. I think we could actually walk around on the inside. I might actually go in a second. I'm walking around the perimeter right now, but it's actually dedicated to the Hachiman style of horseback archery, which is apparently super rare in Japan. And so this is one of those places where the lords really appreciated it and designed and built this shrine in dedication to it. So pretty cool. I think the reason why there's almost no one here, even though I just walked through a car park where you could just drive up and park and walk over, is the initial staircase is pretty freaky. That is to be admitted. Like, looking at it, it's like, oh, that is a lot of stairs. But obviously we made it up, much to my chagrin, because I do have a car, so technically I could have just went and got in the car, drove up here. I think the parking's free too, which, I mean, we noticed there's a lot of free parking around everything. Oh, before we came here, we went to the foot baths, which was packed. Like, everybody and their mother was there. All Japanese people, though, with the exception of two, I think, French people sitting in the corner not using the foot bath, so that they're just sitting at a table at the corner. And then, since we couldn't get into the actual foot baths, we just walked over here. We have about 15 minutes before our parking is up, so we're gonna go try to walk inside this thing, and then probably go back to the car to drive on over to the hotel, call it a night. Hotel includes dinner. I think I already mentioned that before, so it should be good. Anyhow, back in a second. Alright, welcome back. Last time I checked in, I was at the shrine, and after checking out the interior of the shrine, which was pretty neat, we gave a little prayer and or offering, and then went back to the car and drove over to the hotel. And as I said, we are staying at the Dogo Onsen, except we're not staying at the actual Dogo Onsen that Spirited Away was taking place in. They're not actually letting anyone stay there right now or something, or I couldn't book it at the time. So I actually chose the Grand Hotel instead. I believe that's what it is. Yeah, the Grand Hotel. And so we are staying at the Dogo Grand Hotel instead, which is just right down the street. There's also the newest of the onsens that is part of the Dogo series. They own so much in this area. They actually have other Dogo. There's like a Dogo patio or something as well that's right next to the Grand or the regular Dogo onsen. And so that was, just one of those quick, where are we supposed to go? What are we supposed to do? And then we just figured out, okay, we'll just throw a nav, drove here. Parking's free, and I may have said this before, but it's like, yeah, we should have just went to check into the hotel earlier or just leave our car here and then go, because I could have saved, well, it was only 500 yen. But, you know, walking the Dogo Park and then going to Dogo Onsen and then going to the shrine and the foot baths. Those were all pretty cool, admittedly, so it's worth the 500 yen because everything there was free. Anyhow, so getting to the hotel, why don't we go ahead and do a quick room tour, because you can see I'm sitting on the bedding right now. And when I got here, I did the room tour immediately because I didn't want the bedding to be in the way. So let's go ahead and do the room tour real quick, and then we'll come back in a second. Alright, so this is going to be a quick room tour. We are on the 5th floor. The elevator is right there. And then as we come around, we are in room 501. As you enter in this room, you'll notice that there is a genkan where we leave our shoes. I have sandals on right now. I think this is a shoe cabinet, yeah. So, shoe cabinet right there. And then, take off my sandals. Ooh. This is the bathroom. Pretty standard, I would say. I'm not a fan of the hot, cold faucet thing, but it is a thing. It is what it is. We'll probably be using the onsen downstairs rather than this bath, but we might take a bath here. Oop, almost tripped into the genkan. And then we have the toilet right here, which I just flipped on the light. And you could tell if someone's in there by this little window. So if the light was off, you could see that it's off. And then light is on. It's on. Standard toilet with the wash your hands above the kamo type of deal, or the reservoir rather. And then they have a towel right there for you. And then all these doors were actually closed, so you literally have to open all of them as you come in. So it's a little something like this, to where you open, and then you have the waiting room, which the bathroom is right there. Then you have the bedroom, dining room, living room, every room right here. And they do have a safe, a little massage thing right there. There's the telephone. They provided a closet with towels in it, so when you go downstairs you could have to bring your towels with you. And then all the bedding and everything is behind this door, I believe. There we go, bedding. I'm trying to get this done before they start doing the bedding, because at 6 o'clock the lady's gonna come and do the bedding, so I have about a half an hour. And up here is a window that looks to the outside. Can't really see anything though. I wonder if that'll do. There you go. So that's one view. And we're right next to the Dogo Onsen, so the Spirit Away building, if you could say that. And then Lynn, who's chilling over there right now. There's this paper door right here, which normally you would open from the middle. And I wonder where the light switch is. There is a light in here. Gonna have to look for that switch. It is hidden. But here it is. Here we go. And then this would typically go to either a balcony or a window. And it's a balcony. So there's a little balcony out there, but there's not much to actually see. Again, it's just the hotels. So There's a Family Mart right across the street, which that's convenient tomorrow. Breakfast. Or, I guess we actually have breakfast
I was supposed to say, yeah, breakfast.
tomorrow, so we don't have to worry about it.
Look at the view from that window.
Yeah, that was a lot better.
Oh, that's cool.
Then, little tea set, TV, and that's pretty much it. But I didn't actually film anything on the outside, even though it's still lit, because they took my car from me. And so I'll talk more about that when I get to the better camera angle. Let's go ahead and get back to the talking head. Alright, so as you can see, the room is pretty fancy. At $240 a night, something like that. It's well worth it. It comes with dinner and breakfast as well. And so let's go straight into that. We came up to the room, dropped our bags, and then just chilled for a moment because we chose one of the earlier times for dinner. So dinner starts at 6, and then you could choose a reservation for every 15 minutes. So 6, 6:15, 6:30, 6:45, etc. And so we chose 6:15 as everything from 6:30 to 8 o'clock was filled. So it was one of those things where we're like, okay, we'll just have to do it early. And we were here at 5, so checking in, selecting everything. We're up in a room at about 6:15ish, and they actually make the beds at about 6 o'clock. So if I said 6:15, I meant to say 5:15. We were up in the room. They make the beds at 6 o'clock, so we had to get everything prepped for that. We had a little snack, which every hotel like this, every traditional hotel, they leave a snack for you in the room with tea. And I actually have my tea right here right now to eat with the snack. And they also, we had that. And then we were just watching TV, waiting. Lynn was surfing. And we were pretty much just waiting for our dinner time to come around before we went downstairs. And currently, there's a lot of renovations happening all over the place. But currently, the top floor dinner area is out of commission. They're under renovation, so that kind of stinks because that has the best view of the city. But whatever, it is what it is. So we were on the ground floor at the restaurant there, and the food was spectacular. We actually grabbed the menu that we're getting because it was literally a menu, like it was a set meal. So we have no idea what we ate. It was all in Japanese, and all we know is that it was delicious. And I could tell you that we had special pork, special bacon, I guess you could call it, pork belly, that was shabu shabu, special wagyu, that was barbecued. Like, we had our own private barbecue grill in front of us that we barbecued the meat on, and that was delicious. Lynn was just blown away with that. We did order 2 special juices on the side, 2 different, like, there's so many different types of orange juice here that it's crazy. And I'll get into it later, but Lynn actually went to almost like an orange juice brew bar type thing where they had all these spigots with orange juice in it, but I'll get to that in a second. So aside from those 2 items, we also had, I think it was carp. I want to say that's what the fish was. I have no idea, but it's delicious. It has this Thai influence, or it reminds me of a Thai fish. I shouldn't say it has Thai influence. I have no idea. So there was like a bit of Thai influence, or not Thai influence. It reminded me of Thailand quite a bit, and it was really, really delicious. It had that sweet and salty type of flavor, and like Lynn and I both were just taken aback by it. So other than that, there was some pickles. There was a fried rice. I don't know. They called it meshi something. So it was mixed stuff, which that's kind of important to note, because we could also pour the dashi kind of like we did last night at the Kodaya, and you can mix it all together. Now, there was no egg, is the only difference. After doing that, it was as much rice as you wanted. So you could have as many bowls of rice that you wanted, and it was more like a fried rice than anything else. And then, what else was there? We also had sushi. That was delicious. I don't know how they made it so creamy. That was the weird part. And it was sitting on ice packs. Oh, and the little prawns that they had were super sweet. We also had this seaweed salad with some sort of, I want to say a sardine or something in it. It wasn't oily though, so maybe it wasn't a sardine. I don't know. It also had a radish root in it, and just seaweed that was kind of like snot-like. Lynn was taken aback, and she was like, "No, I can't eat that. That's eating snot." She had like an immediate gag reflex when she tried it. Me, on the other hand, I thought it was delicious. And then we also had chawanmushi, which is the steamed egg with kind of like the fish broth steaming that they do. That was delicious. It was very light this time. I'm trying to think, is there anything I'm missing? Other than that, we also had dessert, and that was actually really nice. It was like some sort of almost like cheesecake or like a mousse, but it was thicker than a mousse. So Lynn, I was in the restroom when they served it, so Lynn actually doesn't know what we got because they told her in Japanese. And so it was kind of like a white cream type, maybe it was a custard, I don't know, or a mousse. Whatever it was very light and whipped, and then it had a very decadent like cake with it, which was really nice. That kind of finished off how dinner was, and we had our 2 cups of juice that we ordered from different areas of Ehime. And then we decided to go ahead, and I was going to stay here in the hotel, go to the onsen, and get ready for bed because I still have this cold, although I feel a lot better, which is kind of nice. Still have the sniffles. It's annoying. It's at that annoying phase. So Lynn wanted to go out because the night was still young. So what we did was, after dinner, we went to the souvenir shop, and Lynn checked out the souvenirs and showed me some pretty cool stuff. And then I went out to see if I could find some cold medicine. Just something simple. I went to a supermarket, a 7-Eleven, and a Lawson's, and I'm pretty sure they only sell that type of drug inside of a drugstore. So we'll have to pass by some sort of drugstore tomorrow, and I'll just stop in and buy something for tomorrow night. Unfortunately, I think all of their cold medicine makes you drowsy. I won't be able to take it like as many times as they said I should take it. I'll probably just take it at night before I go to bed, and then just work with what I got. So we went shopping. We bought a ton of groceries. I was watching Nogizaka Under Construction, a variety show, and they did a snack taste test, and I marked all the ones that I liked, and I'm looking for them currently here while we're here so that we could try them all. We'll see what happens there. I've been pretty lucky so far. I think I got a majority of them. It's been pretty easy to find, and this supermarket that's down the street from this Dogo Onsen, it's dirt cheap. We were able to find our favorite cafe au lait by Boss, which is typically like anywhere between 120 to 140 in a machine. We were able to find it for 88 cents, or 88 yen, and that's super cheap. So we bought a ton of those. And then the snacks, I bought some cough drops just in case, just to kind of prep for the ahead. Everything was so inexpensive. This is the one that has the 500 milliliter Cokes for less than 100 yen. So, and that's been something that's been around since I was living here 14, 15 years ago. So that is incredible that price has just not changed. After all that shopping though, I just grabbed vitamin C, like one of those like super vitamin C drinks that they have here at 7-Eleven. Came back to the hotel room. Lynn went out, and I came up, drank that 100%, whatever, the vitamin C drink, and then got changed into a yukata, which I am currently wearing, and went to go take a shower and bathe in the onsen. For the most part, I was there by myself until I was leaving. 2 gentlemen walked in while I was getting out. That was pretty much it. And then I came up here to the hotel room to film this, and I think it's currently about 10 o'clock. So we spent some time out. Lynn, she went out to go try to do some geocaches. And as I said before, she actually ran across a orange juice bar that had all the different orange juices from all over Ehime. It might even be from beyond just Ehime. But they did flights in 3, 5, and 10. And so she did a flight of 5 to go try different orange juices, and you just pay for the flight, and then you could taste it. I think she said it was 1,200 yen, which is a little steep for the because flights are little cups. But she was able to try all these different orange juices, and the cups tell you where they're from. So she saved all the cups so that she could remember which one she liked. And then she was able to kind of find the last Dogo Onsen thing that I wanted to show, which is like the newest onsen building. And there was a cache there, so she was able to go see that, which was awesome. I don't think I will be able to go see that. That's unfortunate. I think I'm about to go to bed here. But yeah, she's still out. She's still walking around. I do expect her back shortly. We were just on a phone call, so that will be that. Tomorrow, we are headed to Matsuyama Castle in the morning. We also have breakfast, so that'll be exciting. Oh, one last note on the dinner. We got to cook a lot of it, so we had to cook our own shabu shabu, which is normal with the pork belly. And then we had to grill our own wagyu, which that was really cool. Just like that personal grill and personal boiler. That was pretty amazing. I think I failed to mention that just now. I think that's all for today. And I will see you in the morning, hopefully feeling 10 times better. Anyhow, good night, and we'll see you in the next vid.
아니, 사무 동안 들고 있어야 돼.
案内いたします。この道後温泉は日本最古の温泉として全国に知られ、年間を通じて入浴客の絶え間がございません。また、中央にそびえる松山城は日本三大伝歴的平山城の一つに数えられ、天守閣などが国指定の重要文化財となっております。その他、正岡式を検証した四季記念博物館や四国霊場88カ所の歴史跡をはじめ、数多くの神社仏閣がございます。どうぞごゆっくり松山の旅をお楽しみください。
5時まで待たなあかんわ。
When you're in one part, it's just like something happening.